Evening and welcome back to another episode of Rolling with the Spectrums. Before I go get the little studio sorted out, tonight's episode is about the new research that have identified 4 distinct biological subtypes of autism. So I'm going to try and break these down to you so I can understand them and you can understand them as well. And where did that take us for support with our autistic children and families and friends and so on. So please sit back, get a cup of coffee, get a drink, a brew, whatever you have, and we'll get on with the show. Let's roll the tape. Right, so recent autism research from 2025-26 identified 4 distinct biological subtypes which will help a significant shift in personalised care for people with autism. The key developments include the rising children identified with autism, which should help introduce a new, more personalised strategy. So in the US, 1 in 31 kids are now being identified with autism, and they are introducing a new national autism strategy between 2025 and 31, focusing on, what are they focusing on? So inclusion, services and health. Maybe we might have to do something a bit better with our NDIS and thriving kids. But autism research policy updates. So 4 biological subtypes. A groundbreaking study identified 4 distinct biological subtypes of autism. This includes a group defined by social and behaviour challenges with ADHD or anxiety and other higher rates of developmental delays or milder core traits, aiding personalised diagnosis to a more therapeutic approach. So what does that mean? I've only come across this today, so I'm very green in this at the moment. So way I'm reading this, guys, is these subtypes of autism, when being diagnosed on the spectrum, will additionally help the person with these traits get a better diagnosis for level 1, 2 or 3 to get a better, more tailored support for the person. Obviously, this is US stats, not Australian. When are we going to adopt this? I couldn't tell you. This is only a month or 2 old. So yeah, let's read on here. I've got a new teleprompter. It's doing pretty well. So if you do see my hand flick up and get in the way of our face, it's my bad. So this one here. So brain cognitivity research identified that autistic adults often have fewer synapses. The junction where the nerve cells exchange information, which strongly correlates with changes in daily and social functioning. There you go. That's why a lot of us older people who haven't diagnosed sort of struggle later in life. I have found I am starting to get to that struggle in life at the moment, trying to find out who I am again. I know there's a few people on this platform of social media that have gone through the same. Big shout out to Blake from Autism Addict. We hope to get him on the show as one of my first people I can interview, to be honest. So shout out to him, and hopefully this helps you learn a bit more about yourself too, dude. So I know reading this afternoon, it's definitely raised a bigger awareness of how my brain is functioning at the moment, noting that what I see in my daughter is pretty much what I experienced in my childhood, probably to a lesser degree because there's no other siblings until I was 13, and by that stage I was well on my way to masking in life and killing it, so yeah. And then the line of work I went into obviously scaffolded a lot of that. In the next sort of 12 to 18 months, I will unfold a lot of this as I get diagnosed myself. And like I said, I don't know what's happening with my line of work at the moment, whether I'll still be there in about 18 months' time, but watch this space. if you guys can help me go viral and put a like and subscribe, and this could be my job, and I can get better information and have more time to research this stuff to make a better quality program for you. So we'll roll on. roll on with the spectrum, love it. Okay, earlier screening potential. So studies indicate that toddlers who are late diagnosed with autism use fewer gestures and could revolutionise early intervention and screening methods. So that's going to help our younger ones get pretty much diagnosed at an earlier stage. I think I've said this before, but my daughter has actually been diagnosed when she was 6, as opposed to boys who get diagnosed much earlier, due to the fact that her traits that she displayed weren't normal for girls. So female autism, I'm actually reading a book on that at the moment. Unmasking Autism. It's a good read. I bought the book, can't read it, so I've downloaded on Audible to listen to it. But I follow with my eyes, like you used to at school, follow with your eyes, listen to the teacher. It's pretty much what I'm doing with this. But it's, chapter 2, oh my God, that is me down to a T. Going off topic again, let's read this. So this one's National Autism Strategy. So this is for Australia now. So 2025 to 3031 strategy focuses on enhancing social and economic inclusion. Well behind the 8 ball on that, aren't we? Improving diagnosis and services and implementing a national roadmap to improve health and mental health of autistic people. Now, I haven't heard anything apart from Thriving Kids with regards to this. So if anyone has heard anything else, feel free to drop the link or a comment down in the comments to help other people who are also on the spectrum or have kids on the spectrum that need more help to this. So prevalence in data. So in the US, about 1 in 31 children, so that's 3.2% of children aged 8 years identified with ASD, with diagnosis being 3 times more common in boys than a girl, something that I think we already knew from other episodes. So new support models, initiatives like Thriving Kids and emerging to focus on early identification for children aged 8 and under, operating through schools. Okay, that's brilliant news. So the Thriving Kids stuff that everyone's been worried and raving on about, and giving the schools more tools and to help our kids. So I think I did cover this a little bit, but it does say in the in this, so I understand this now. So teachers or caregivers and health providers like your GP, if they see the signs of what they think is developmental delay, autism, some whatever mental health issues your child might be struggling with, they can raise this and get your child seen sooner. So learn a bit more as we go. So your Thriving Kids sounded daunting at first because no one knew what the hell it was. I think our health minister isn't the best speaker. I have seen him talking about this crap going on in the Middle East, and I just wish he was there strapped to one of those missiles. We need someone who is a bit more robust and can take mental health and autism by the balls and run with it in Parliament. I don't know. I could be a independent MP and see how we go. No. Maybe. Don't put thoughts in my head. So yes, so that's what that means. That's, as we read, that's good. Like I said, I've only researched this morning, and I'm just throwing it at you now. Environmental factors, continued researching, highlight that factors such as advanced parental age, mental health, and paternal exposure to pollution, contaminants, may contribute to the risk of your child getting autism. Kind of makes sense in a way. Tinfoil hat time. The White House end of last year said Tylenol paracetamol for us Aussies and Brits, caused autism in children. There's also the vaccination tinfoil hat that's going around, that more people get vaccinated, the more kids with autism. I don't believe that's true. I think the more we vaccinate our children has just paralleled the research done on autism and made it a wider known disability, I guess. However, I have looked into it and I have spoken to my psychiatrist about not the environmental factors, but the parental and paternal exposure to risk of mental health. So my great-grandfather in Korea, this is one side of the family, so I haven't dived down the rabbit hole of other members of the family, but he had what we now call post-traumatic stress. He had this from the Korean War, what they call it back then, shell shock from World War II to Korea. I think it was just known as shell shock. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Suffered with that, had the shakes, had the twitches, wasn't good in public settings. Dad passed away early. He unfortunately drank and had cirrhosis of the liver. That may have been through a mental health problem, which obviously a boomer, you know, they're men, they don't talk, and shit like that happens, unfortunately. So third generation is myself from that. Obviously I got cyclothymic and on the cusp of being diagnosed with autism and ADHD, just like my youngest daughter, who is very prevalent with autism and ADHD traits and has the formal diagnosis. The older daughter, I think, I don't really like to use the term high functioning, but I think as she's starting to hit high school, the mask is coming off a bit, and I'm starting to see cracks in that mask. So that's just my personal opinion. So yeah, that's definitely a big factor. But it's each to their own. I think the more we do dive into science and genetics with autism, the more we're going to find out, I wouldn't say a cure, but a way to better understanding and a better support structure out there. I think thriving kids could be a good thing if it is managed correctly. But yeah, that's all I got on the new research found. So 4 contributing factors in that in the new findings. So environmental, parental pollution, and yeah, mental health in paternal parents and so on. So my usual sign out tonight, guys, but I've got a pillow that says it, and I am gonna snuggle with it. Yeah, that's my new hat. I am a West Tiger member, and we did get up over the wires tonight. So, oh my God, great win. Again, thanks for tuning in. I hope that information was prevalent for you guys at home. Remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends, your family, your co-workers, your unco-workers. Tell everybody this is Rolling with a Spectrum. And remember, as I sign off on every video, peace, love, and autism. Go Tigers.